Matt's going to be popping into the Galvo and Gantry and EasyCAD 2 and EasyCAD 3 Cash courses a little here and there to add a couple quizzes to make them a little better. But we've also started working on all of this over here. So we've essentially created an entire course schedule for like an entire laser college. Like if there was a college for laser engraving, marking, and cutting, we just built it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Laser Source Podcast, the number one podcast if you aren't going to be one of the people that wins the lasered giveaway. You know, just start with that really quick. Let's just do it. Let's just knock it out. You worked so hard on
people, it. Though, yeah.
What's up, people?
I got to put my headphones on.
It's good to see you. Everybody's ignoring me. We're live. Does everybody know that? Are we?
Yeah. Do we want to do the drawing now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just get it out of the way.
Read on it.
Well, so if you're coming in now on this, last week we discussed a giveaway that went live with the most recent episode of the Lasered episode, where we did the Kindle Fire 7, right? And so with that came a giveaway. So anybody who entered, the drawing closed at midnight 21 hours ago. So everyone was assigned a number. So there's 99 numbers here, and there's 3 people who entered. So one of the 3 people is going to get an email tonight. That way I'm not doxing anybody. But if you're one of the 3 people who entered, check your email after the podcast tonight.
Let's go.
And the spin is on 94.
Who's 94?
That would be Daryl. Daryl, you won.
Daryl
M.
Daryl M.
Hey, Daryl.
Daryl M is a champion.
Daryl, if you're in the chat, say what up.
What up?
You're not Daryl.
You're not Daryl.
Get out of here.
Is Rob Usher new here? I can't tell if this is facetious. Bro.
Yeah.
He's been here before.
All right, guys. So
it's how it goes, man.
Listen up. We are doing some new big things. It doesn't even have any punch to it anymore because we are always doing some new big things.
True.
I guess I'm not really prepared for this, but I'll show you guys. Let me present.
Rob said he's a paid member, so then 13 minutes is actually 87 minutes early.
Yes.
2 minutes. It's 2 minutes early. 9:15.
9:15.
Okay,
yes.
check it out. So here's the LMA. I feel like we talk about this every week now, but it's been LMA weeks. And we've been drilling down on making this really good. Listen to the last episode. We did 90 minutes on this topic about how we've been renovating the LMA. And while we were talking about it, I think Matt made like some kind of like off the cuff remark about improving some of our online courses. So if we take a look at those, you guys know them, the Lightburn, Galvo, Lightburn Gantry, EasyCAD 2 and EasyCAD 3 crash courses. Yeah. And I mean, what was your basic suggestion before the big idea?
So a long time ago, I was like, man, it'd be really cool if there was quizzes, because I did online teaching during COVID and all that stuff. Like when all the COVID-19 thing was going on, I was like, there's so much, especially with the Mighty Networks. There's a lot of like utility there for building classes and quizzes and putting documents on there for people. And I was like, man, that'd be really cool, because all the questions, I think I said, we've answered those questions 1,000 times. I wish there was a way we could put it in one spot. And you were like, that's a good idea. And like, cause like, and it's not a big deal. Like that's literally how we have a job, is people have questions. But there's so many times where it's like, you either read it in one of the Facebook groups, you saw it in a video, you read it in a comment in one of the threads. And it's so easy to forget where you found that answer, because how do you keep all of that stuff in one place?
Mm-hmm.
And then like we got to talking about it, and that's where the big idea came from, which is, well, why don't we make like the academy, like a legitimate academy, like a grouping of learning?
Yeah. And it is not a little thing. It's as usual, somebody threw a ball at me and I caught it and ran to the other coast. So
Yeah, it's about
Matt's going to be popping into the Galvo and Gantry and EasyCAD 2 and EasyCAD 3 cache courses a little here and there to add a couple quizzes to make them a little better. But we've also started working on all of this over here. So we've essentially created an entire course schedule for like an entire laser college. Like if there was a college for laser engraving, marking, and cutting, we just built it, or at least the framework of it. There's a lot of work to do. So I'm just going to run you through some of the ones that we've come up with so far. There's many, many more to be added, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But we have laser theory, and these are hopefully in the order you move through these in, so that because they obviously builds on, one thing builds on the next. So we have laser theory. So intro to lasers, physics of light, physics of lasers, basic laser optics, the exposure triangle, and pulse duration. So this is just like how lasers work on paper, and knowing that and learning that, because it informs everything else going forward. And it's really important. So there's laser theory that'll get you started. Kyle is heavily involved in applied lasers. That should be S. So gantry anatomy, galvo anatomy, operational safety, and laser maintenance. And this has actually since been updated, so there's more. I'll pull that Google sheet up in a second. We're going to have material science, master Lightburn, and master EasyCAD. So Lightburn for galvo and gantry are going to be rolled into one. We're going to teach the fundamentals about Lightburn first, and then the course will split off down the path that you want to go down or need to go down. Same thing with EasyCAD. We're going to teach EasyCAD fundamentals first, and then it'll split off down 2 or 3, depending on which path you need. And these currently, there's nothing in them. Because we have the Lightburn and EasyCAD crash courses, they're the lowest priority because we have that content. So we will
It'll be coming.
We're going to redo them from scratch essentially for this, but it's going to be the last thing that gets done. We also have some art and design stuff. I have a very rough framework for Illustrator, Inkscape, and Affinity Designer. There's a lot that needs to be changed here. This is not representative of anything even remotely close. We're probably going to start with just design principles, color theory, like really, really basic art school stuff for people that didn't go to art school. That's, it's important. So
hold up your tattoo.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that in a second. And last but not least, and this is probably the most fleshed out one. In fact, I don't even want to show that here. Let me just pull a new tab up really quick.
Is that the one that I came up with because I'm amazing?
We worked on it together.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting a little excited over there.
Alex came up with 3 of them. I came up with 20.
You got it up?
I think so. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so this stuff is all up to date. So this is a laser theory. This is our chart here. This section on the right are some of the chapters you can expect to find inside of that related course. So, for example, in physics of light, you'll have the electromagnetic spectrum and waves versus particles. Basic laser optics is going to cover things like spot size, expanders, depth of field. So all of that kind of stuff, guys, will be included inside of these courses. The big one is the business one. Matt's put a lot of time into this already, and apparently he has a little bit to talk about this, so I will pass it off to him in a second. But we're trying to build this out so that relevant courses in order of difficulty are grouped together. So like the 100 series is really just getting your business started. The 200 series all has to do with payment processing and point of sale. The 300 series has everything to do with accounting. The 400 series has everything to do with marketing, and the 500 series has everything to do with online marketplace vending. So they're all kind of grouped together so that you can target what you want and then work through that course list. obviously we're building them in a way that the courses are in the order we think they should be taken. If you don't know anything about business, I wouldn't jump right to the 500 courses. Maybe start at like 100 and work your way down.
On the edge.
Maybe you know a little bit about business, but not so much about point of sale. Start at the 200 and work your way down. I can enforce moving through the course chronologically, but I don't know if I will.
That makes it feel like you're in a traffic school. Like where it's like, you can't read about stop signs yet. You haven't talked about one way.
I mean, kind of. It may be a situation where we end up going for that on something like theory or application, but on things that are a little more open-ended, like design and business, you have a little more control over the order that you take them in. They are independently controllable like that. God damn it, Matt.
That said, though, too, when you start skipping through stuff, you risk, because we are building them building block style, you do risk missing out on a valid piece of information that later you're going to be asking a question on, and we're going to be like, did you watch or do that section? And you're going to be like, no.
Yeah.
It's called scaffolding.
Yes.
Yep. Here were some of so this was the kind of redo, my redo attempt on art and design is going to be like intro to web design, online web design services, HTML editors, Squarespace, Wix, Nice Page, like different tools. And you can see like the basic elements about web design are in the 400s, but the editors themselves are 411, 412, and 421. So that they will have relevant numbering, and that they obviously are nothing that you guys are looking at is set in stone right now, but it's like a working thing. Now, as far as how we're going to execute on these things, that's where Matt's work has really shined. Matt used to teach, fucking surprise. So he knows how to do this. And I'm more happy than ever that we hired him. So he actually has a workflow established for this. Are you going to be showing off like the lesson plans and stuff? Like, do you have that?
I was going to show one because,
I'd love to see it. Yeah, so
we can't give away all the product secrets, guys. We could, but
yeah, it's all you, man. Go for it.
Okay, all right.
While you're pulling that up,
for that, then
Rob says, "When will this be live?" Currently shows Explorer under each. They'll be live when they're completed.
Yeah, we're not going to wait.
They're not ready.
We're not going to wait until everything is done to start releasing them.
But at least the one level 100, level 000.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is, so that main column on the left, we're kind of calling them majors loosely, just so that we are knowing how to organize them. The individual classes you can take in a major are called courses, and then each course has sections, chapters, and lessons. I think when one major is done, it will be published, and we will publish them and work on them in the order that they should be taken, so that the first ones out are the ones you should take first, according to us. If you want to skip ahead, you'll probably end up having to wait. But if you want to go in order, they should be coming out loosely in that order. So I'm hoping that we can get them done relatively quickly, especially some of the kind of 101 stuff should be really easy to whip through and keep organized. Additionally, big piece of this that I haven't said while I let Matt get ready. Just interrupt me when you're ready, Matt. We are going to publish all of these videos that are associated with these courses on the YouTube channel. So you'll be able to watch the videos anywhere, which is great. So whether you're subscribed to the LMA or not, you'll be able to watch the videos. But there are a lot of components to this that you won't get outside of the LMA. In some cases, they will be directly integrated into the learning. So we might say, and Matt will talk about this again in a second, but Matt, in his business class might say, download the, balance sheet or whatever, and we'll fill it out together. If you're not in the LMA, that kind of stuff is going to be found on the LMA. So if you want that, if you want the written components, there will be lessons that are just writing that won't have an associated video. Matt was talking about recording audio. So if people wanted to listen to the written component rather than read it, that would be an option for you. And I think that's a great idea. Those extra components that are not the core video lessons from each course will not be available publicly. So that's
and
stuff that's on the LMA.
I mean, I'm ready to go, but the other thing too is if you're an educator, I mean, anybody knows, and I know I sound like I'm dying. It is what it is. But a lot of you guys know not everybody learns the same. And so that's the point is basically there's different types of learning. So are you someone who is a better listener? Are you someone who is auditory? Are you visual? Are you kinesthetic where writing things down as you listen helps? And so those are literally things that I have a degree in, and not like, ooh, I'm fancy, but it's just what I've done for the past like 16 years. And so how do you help people who, you know, when our only way to communicate is usually on a podcast or through visuals, how do you get to that next step of helping somebody make connections? Because business is abstract, right? If you're not sure what I mean by that, it just means it's not tangential. You can't touch it. It's different to every person. So long story short, what that means is like business to me means I might have made $50 today and I'm happy. Whereas business to you might mean I need to make $100,000 this year to meet my bottom line. And that's what I need. So business is very different. It's in flux. So how do you teach something like that to everybody that kind of encompasses something for everybody? And that's what Alex was kind of saying is like, not everything is going to be for you, which I think is why it's smart not to hold people back and force people to go in an order. That being said, take a look real quick at this. We'll add this here. So this is the B100, the intro to business. And really one of the first questions, or actually John a minute ago just said, it'd be smart to, I thought it was John. Oh yeah, yep, right here. I'd almost say do bookkeeping early, perhaps even before talking about taking payments so you can learn about accounting and payments and expenses. Yeah. So literally the very first thing we talk about is, do you really want or need a business? So this might be something that you're doing as a side hustle where you bought a laser and it led you to buying a bigger laser. And now you're paying the laser off. You are taking money, but at the same time, it's not really something that's making you tens of thousands of dollars or even thousands of dollars. So do I really need a business? I literally just had a friend of mine who had a laser engraving / woodworking business that he let lapse because he was paying like $500 or $600 a year in tax collection, paying for the state of Florida charges you X amount of dollars to have your stuff. So I think it was costing him $600 and he was only bringing in like $850. So what's the point? You know, so that's one of those things. Do you really need a business or, you know, what? So when you look into this, business or hobbies, so this is where we're looking at stuff. This is stuff that's not fully fleshed out yet.
A lot of it, I was building like empty frameworks to show the guys what the skeleton would look like. So if you see anything while we're navigating through the back end that looks out of place or doesn't look accurate, it's because it was literally just tossing out phrases to build a framework so that we knew what it would look like. So literally Alex and I sat in here the other day for about 2.5 hours and kind of mapped it out, because that's when you do lesson planning, you always begin with the end in mind, right? And the end is, how do we get somebody to be at a functioning business? So finding your niche, you know, once you decide, yes, I want a business, talking about a niche right away, because everybody, if you look at Etsy, everybody makes the same stuff. How are you going to stand out if Etsy's the way you're doing it? Or I'm a teacher. I was a teacher. So that's who my big clients were. Like I just had $1,000 order that I posted about today, and it's a friend of mine who I taught with who is a swimming coach. And so they ordered $1,000 worth of stuff 100% because they know me. That's it. And also I do good work once they realize that this is their second year in a row ordering a 4-digit order. So, and then they also are going to do a fundraiser with me too. So it's pretty cool. So figuring out who your market is, once you've niched down, figuring out your target market. And like, there's a few lessons to that. Basic funding and finances. So do you already have the machine and now you got to pay it down? Are you going to have to get a loan? Are you going to use a credit card to purchase from direct from a manufacturer? Are there ways you can buy from a manufacturer without putting it on a credit card? Like, how do I do that? And then finally, a business plan.
And so what you'll notice is at the end of every section, almost like a chapter, it kind of leads into the next one. So a business plan would be the next thing. And this is the one that I kind of fleshed out today. So looking at business formation. So the whole thing is, now that you've come up with a business plan and you know what you want to do, it's time to actually make your business, right? So first of all, business entities. We've talked about all these different business entities. And if you can't see, there you go. You know, what is a sole proprietorship? What's a general partnership versus a limited partnership? S Corp versus C Corp. And finally, what most of us have, which is an LLC. What's the benefit of that? Also, there's two different types of LLC. There's a single partner or a single or a partnered LLC. So what are those things? What do you need to do? Explaining DBAs. So corporate name versus your creative name in the beginning of your brand. So this is, again, you can kind of see some of these are a little bit longer than other ones. And when you go into it, what's really cool is I can actually go in here, and when I click edit, I can put all kinds of, I can do manage lesson settings and stuff, and I can even add quizzes and tests in here, which is pretty neat. So I was trying to show you guys that. Let's see, cancel. Of course, it's behind the one thing I need. Well, you can literally click create lesson or create quiz. And that's going to be one of the ways that we help you guys figure out mastery is like, you know, if you're somebody who likes to test whether or not you actually learned it, you'll be able to literally go through the lessons and quiz yourself at the end to see if you've actually learned it. So registering your business, like what are the local requirements, state requirements, and federal requirements? Because there you'd be really shocked how some cities require certain things that others don't because bylaws and townships and all kinds of stuff. Every state has a few different requirements and cost. And also we'll have links provided for you to help you find these things. Because what I've experienced is not the same as other people, right? So, and then finally the IRS, that's where we all are going to have the same thing, almost all of us, unless you live in a different place. So anyways, sales tax authorization, what is it? Where do I get one? And finally, sales tax remittance and quarterly, like explaining how you collect it and how you turn it in. Yeah, and here's the other thing, like Vince, literally I left them off of there and I thought about adding them, but being a nonprofit. So anywho, all this stuff is here. And by the way, this isn't final. There's still stuff we haven't thought of. And afterwards, the last thing is securing an EIN, right? So literally like now that you've got an EIN, there you go. Like we can explain what one is and how to get one and what you need to have. And basically that's what's going on with all of this. And then finally, we'll get down into branding and identity after you actually establish your business, which is what John was talking about earlier. Like, how do you get to, once you've secured your EIN, how do I actually form my business and establish it and do all that stuff, right?
Yep.
So anyways, to actually take money and do finances and stuff like that. And so that's why the 100 series, if you noticed, really the depth is there because a lot of people who never did it correctly, number one, or they've just had those questions and never really got straight answers and where they can find them easily. So having all of that there, having something where my hope is to create like worksheets almost or like PDFs that if you wanted to, you could print and put into a binder ahead of time and like literally almost like a checklist on how to get stuff done. And it won't be the same for everybody, but if it's 90% of what you need to get going, that's a pretty solid $10 a month or $15 a month. Yep. You know?
Yeah.
So saying.
So just really quick, Scott Avis is asking, and I have a couple questions. What level of membership with LMA will this need? And are there any plans to do anything for non-US businesses? So I'm not sure yet. That's a really good question. It's really going to
international business is things differ greatly from country to country.
I mean, I'm just talking like the first part of the question. Like which
will change all the stuff from dollars to euros.
It really depends on what we sink into this and how the response is. If people are super amped and there's a ton of hype and we spend dozens and dozens of hours on it, like past major projects, it'll probably require a Delta membership, especially because it's pretty guilt-free on my end because we already plan on publishing all of the videos for free anyway. So really what you're getting is the coursework with your membership. So that may be the way it's going to go. It may be Gamma right now. The existing course stuff that we've built where there isn't any coursework. It's literally the access to the same videos. That's on Gamma right now, just in a structured format without coursework. So it could stay at Gamma if there's a lot of interest. And I know it sounds weird, but if the more interest there is, the more expensive it'll probably be, because we will probably put more work into it, which is what I hope for.
More classes too.
I'd really like this to be extremely large, just like everything else that we do. So that to answer your first question, that it's going to be $14.99 or $24.99 a month. Work at your own pace. Go nuts. The second part, do we have any plans to do anything for non-US businesses? Unlikely in the immediate to intermediate future, because we just don't have anybody on the team that is an expert in that. Every single full-time employee here and part-time employee and contractor are within the United States.
Also, real quick, my precursor that Miranda said I have to say is that I am not a business expert. I am just someone who has successfully been able to get my business up and going, and we are putting that in. And by the way, it's not all going to be me. It's going to be people like Boyce and Alex and Kyle jumping in too on some of the videos, because when you get to the marketing stuff, I have not spent a single dime on marketing ever. Like, it's not because I refuse to. It's just I don't
too much.
I don't need it. Yep. Not because I don't need it. But for the scale of my business, I'm pretty happy with the way it's going. So I've not really sunk a dime into it. So that's where we're going to get the people who are experts on that part to talk about it. Like looking for your niche, Boyce, like finding those lakes and doing those cool ass files.
And then knowing who to sell them to.
Yeah. How to go do that.
Yeah. Yep. And then one of the other things that is going to lead to that as well is going to be like, we all use different point of sales. Like every single one of us.
Books.
Yeah, and I hate it. I like Square and TaxJar. So like there's a lot of shit. Well, you are. So like we all have different experiences that we'll be able to bring to the table. Business is a particularly large major, I guess, if we're calling it that.
It kind of runs our country in the world. It's
very, very large. But I'm also still very excited, especially for the laser stuff. I know Kyle was planning. He got through at least. I want to show off what he did as well. Hold on. Let me pull up. I'm going to
preface this with it's very incomplete, and there's much more to add.
As is everything else.
Yeah, well, because
if and when I eventually ever get to building one of my own lasers, which is still on the plan list at some point, that knowledge will also be passed into.
So,
of course,
I think. Yeah, he's a non-profit.
Yeah, I saw it all, but that's actually one of the things you can be as a 501(c). So, or 501(c).
We'll make sure we add that too. So, back on the sheet. So, applied laser. So, this is kind of Kyle's realm. This is some of the stuff that we are asked about, I would argue, more often than anything else you're going to find in this coursework. And I think it's going to be a big relief to Kyle when he's answering support questions to be like, we actually have a lesson on that, because we will. So here are those anatomy courses you guys are looking at in the beginning. We're also going to have some intermediate and advanced anatomy courses. If you're wondering how exactly the machines work, the parts inside of them, replacements, things like that. Speaking of replacements, we're going to have a laser maintenance course that'll probably be offered in a few different difficulty levels. Wavelength applications is massive. We get this question more than maybe any other single question ever, which is, what laser do I need for X, Y, or Z? And Kyle's going to break that all down for you guys. And then the 100 series courses on applied laser are going to be literally all about safety. So there's going to be an operational safety overview where he kind of covers the, key points of each of these areas where safety is required when working with these machines. But then it's going to be broken down as well, and you'll see these topics listed as their own courses where we can get really granular with that information. Did you have anything else that you were thinking about adding to this list, Kyle?
Yes, but it's not ready and not
Well, just
ready
like
to be put into verbiage either. So
no, yeah, all right.
it's chaos right now.
One more thing too is
and totally unorganized, but it's being built out. That's on my task list.
Yeah, and go ahead and when you remember the marketplace, if you go over there, there's a blog and there's literally like the 101 series is about halfway done. I'm getting ready to post the next one on that, which is basically diode gantry. We just did, I think, fiber, and I think CO2 is the one that's coming out next. So literally if you're someone who likes to read things, it's over there too. So we're going to have videos, all kinds of stuff, man. Lots of content.
One that I'm really excited about too is the material science, and I don't have any idea what these courses are going to look like yet. I'm probably going to talk to Chris. I saw him in chat earlier, but I'm probably going to talk to Chris about building out some of the material science stuff. There's some basic things that I think people don't know, and it's not because they're stupid. I just think it's because nobody's taken the time to explain it to them before. Like the Mohs hardness scale, right? Like how hard is a material? How brittle is a material? What affects how materials absorb different wavelengths of light? You know, like things like that I just kind of know in the back of my head that weigh on my decision making. I think unconsciously while I'm like changing settings and trying to, get good marks. I have a very strong advantage because I took a lot of like STEM in school before and after dropping out. And I don't think a lot of people that are in laser engraving come from so many different backgrounds to laser engraving to free themselves. And a lot of the time that's not from a STEM background. So I really want to be able to cover some basic material science too, just so that when we're looking at, such a wide array of materials that people are wanting to mark or want to attempt to mark, they can make more informed decisions and kind of exercise those critical thinking skills a little bit more efficiently to get to the right answers faster. So I don't know what this is going to look like yet. I've spent literally zero time on it. But
one thing I was thinking about just us talking is like understanding reflection, refraction, and diffraction. Like that's physics, but it's also material stuff because certain materials have different points of those things.
Yeah.
And so like, for example, if I can find it, yesterday I was using a CO2 Galvo to work on that project that I was talking about a minute ago. And, here it is. So like this is just an enamel coated brass, and most of you guys know like testing stuff. I could have run a test grid, but on the CO2 Galvo, this guy, I was like, okay, let me hit it with this, and I wasn't happy. So I was like, well, I need to get rid of more material, so I need to raise the power. I was starting to get closer, but I noticed that there were some lines in it too. So I upped the power a bunch, and then I was at 25 frequency, and I was like, well, that's the one that ablates. That's like that's how you break stuff down. So I was like, let me lower the frequency and see what happens. And so basically, if you can see, I doubt you can see it without being right up on it, but you can kind of see how it's got different looks to it and almost like texture. As I went from 25 down to 20, 15, 10, and even 5 finally, 5 was like perfect. There's no lines, there's no scratches, there's no nothing. But basically within, 7 tests, I was able to get it down to, I made a 3.5 by 3 inch engraving on the CO2 Galvo in 9 seconds today, literally in a pinch when I had to, because of that, right? So like, how do you find the setting thinking about the fact that it's enamel and it's reflective? Like that's how I knew I needed to lower the frequency instead of raise it. Like that's the kind of stuff that you either know it because you've been working on it a long time, or you don't know it and you just have to guess a bunch. Yeah. So material testing.
I'd really like to, we'll probably touch on like reflection and refraction in the physics of light, but I think we'll really get into it in material science. I think will be a core place where you guys will find like a full course just on that. And we will get, Chris is literally taunting me in chat with equations So I'm excited. He's actually waiting for the podcast to be over, and he's going to call in so that we can sit down. I asked him if he wanted to be on. He's like, "Oh, I don't know.
Who's Rita? Who's Rita? I don't know.
Rita.
I don't know. She must be new.
Don't drop out of college, Bronson. That's dumb. Finish. And
in fairness, you're also in your first semester, aren't you?
Well, so this question that Miranda
you're in your
asked,
101 classes. You're not. It's like a repeat of your senior year.
Yeah, it's 13th grade. But literally what Miranda asked is like the number one thing. I took engineering, coastal structural engineering for 2 years, realized that basically the world was made to fall apart and we're all going to die. So that's thanks to engineering. And then after that, I was like, I went back, took a year off and went back and loved what I did. So did it for 17 years. Just saying.
Yeah.
So it might just be changing your classes.
We're not college professors. We don't have degrees. We don't. I guess one of us does.
I'm Professor Snape.
I think that being the bridge between the technical and the lay has been advantageous for the channel so far, and that's what I want to continue to be. So that's the perspective that at least my courses within this will be written. So
Chris had some sage advice.
Yeah.
You think you hate major in physics.
It's so true, dude.
It's true. Like you literally learn about entropy. You learn about entropy and
cried myself to sleep every day for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh man, we should do open and closed systems. I have to put that in.
Hold on. Alicia says, someone told me CO2 settings are the same in translation to fiber, and I don't know if that's true, but it doesn't make sense. It is not true at all.
No.
It's the furthest thing from the truth.
Where? What?
So,
what was the comment? Where is it?
Right there. Whoever told you that was to put it nicely. They're not the same. They're two completely different wavelengths that function completely differently with settings. And that's also not even accounting for wet size or power.
Cool. I got really excited.
Or pulse energy, for that matter. So, no, they're totally different. Sorry.
I added open and closed systems, reflection and refraction, and add blinded me with science to soundboard, because that would be great.
Why doesn't fiber work on acrylic?
And now you guys know why everything is chaos.
Chris is killing it in chat. He should have come on today. Should have majored in therapy because I need it.
He's probably drinking. He's like,
you and me too, buddy.
Bro, I
should have majored in therapy.
I made him play a horror game the other night, and over the course of the time that he was playing the horror game and I was watching him, he went through like 7 White Claws in like 3 hours. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. He should be a streamer. He'd be really funny.
Hey guys, help me kill my liver while I play games.
Yeah, I wish there was more. LMA is going to pay for all of this to be written and recorded and stuff. So if you're excited about this and it's something that you want to participate in, then you can help fund it by going to sign up for the LMA. You can check it out without spending any money now with the visitors pass. So you can literally just one click, boom, and you're in, which is dope. When it's time to party, we will party hard.
Then cry.
So yeah, go check that out. I wish I had more to use to get you guys stoked about this. I hope that you're stoked about it. I'm really stoked about it. There's just a lot of work that needs to be done, and it's the beginning of this project. We've been talking so much about the end of projects lately.
We'll be done next week.
We've been planning LBX for God knows how long. I don't even know how long we've been working on the marketplace anymore. And this is something that's like brand spanking new. So I don't have a lot to get into right now, but I think we have a really, really solid base, and almost everybody on the team is working on this at the moment. So I'm excited.
Boys, what'd you say?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have nothing to contribute right now.
You will be contributing. Don't worry.
You do. Don't worry.
Look at Boyce. Do you think Boyce went out of his way to show off his little LBX canvas that he got? He's like, this needs to go right here so everybody sees it.
He literally was like, Diane,
you know what?
Diane,
does it look bright. Good? It's incredibly bright.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That almost looks like backlit when it's leaning up against the laser like that.
Yeah, just
Hey, it brought Alicia Pate over here. Hey, Alicia.
What's up, Leash?
Let's see.
You missed.
Someone had
There was a
question
part
here.
of this podcast where I was extremely energized and excited, and that has passed. So apologies. Rewind. Get high energy, Alex.
Somebody had a real question earlier.
I was going to ask you a question too. So with this whole courses thing,
Mhm.
are we going to incorporate that into the LMA where we have like the classes as well that we've been trying to start?
Yes, actually, that's a good question. We talked about that. Matt had made that suggestion initially. So one of the cool things that at least Matt will have signed up to do, and I may do this as well, is when we get LMA events going, in between getting this situated, the event will be an opportunity for us to teach one of the classes, and that will be awesome. So like 1 week I might do Lasers 100, and we'll go over it. We'll go through the course together. And the people in the LMA events, as you guys know, because it's a Google Meet, can ask questions literally on video chat as we're moving through the lessons, just like you would in a classroom. There won't be, I don't think it'll be hard scheduled. The events will have reruns as well, as they always do. And they could probably even be linked as part of the course material so that you can watch other people ask questions that you may not have thought of. But if we end up going with Delta for the required tier to participate in these courses, you're going to have access to those events anyway. So I would recommend going live, because you can literally sit there with the instructor going through a lesson once or twice a month, and as we work our way through the courses. And I think that would be invaluable. We're very long way off from that, but I think it would be
One of the things to mention too is if you're looking at a Business 100 course and you're like, oh, I don't need that, you might not need it. But the whole thing about the community is hopefully you come and share your expertise, because there are some of you guys who are way more deep into your business than me, Alex, anybody. Maybe you've been doing it for 20 years. Come share what you've learned, At least in my classes, the way I would want to run them is actually having small groups. So literally like letting people, because the cool thing about Google Meet is you can actually break people into groups and have like short, small discussions for like 5 minutes. Like, hey guys, take a couple minutes to share the answers that you came up with for these questions. And then let's come back as a class and talk about it. Because you get way more out of talking to people than you do from listening to one of us for, 30 minutes. Just saying. What were you going to say, boys?
Well, I was going to say that like the interactive part, I think that we could even like, what do you call it? Like have a Q&A, like a posted question and answers in a printout.
Yeah, and that's the documents that you get for being a part of the LMA.
Yeah, and you can actually go back and just instead of having to watch a video, you can just scan and
Yeah.
even do like a word search for the phrase you're looking for and bang, 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 and find your answers in that format quicker than watching a video.
Yep. And the other thing too is when you sit there, and anybody who's ever run a class knows there are people who won't talk, which is literally what Alicia just said. People get a chance to speak up more. So Boyce, if you notice, isn't somebody who will talk while all four of us are talking. Kyle is a quiet guy too. But when you put them into small groups, it forces them into conversation. And they actually have some really brilliant ideas that you wouldn't have gotten to hear because people like me and Alex won't shut the fuck up. like I'll rip if you let me. And it doesn't mean that we've got great ideas, like all of them. Just means
we're just
tell you about
loud and rude,
and we're willing to tell you about what's in our head, So just saying. And that's where, like Boy said, having the PDFs ahead of time will let you kind of structure that too. Because one of the biggest things to me is when you leave something, like I used to teach. So for 12 years, I did teacher training. And to me, one of the best things I could do, I could go somewhere for 8 hours. I can sit and listen to people talk. I can make new friends. But unless I got something that I can literally physically take back with me to my business or what it is I'm doing, did I really learn anything, that's of value? So to me, that's kind of like at the end of the day, you should, or at the end of the session, you should have at least one or two things to have that you can put into your toolbox. to make your business better. So if I was running a business class, that would be something where I say, take these thoughts with you, consider them this week. Maybe Alex, after teaching lasers, you're like, I never thought about that. And you could go, do something with your laser to test settings differently. I don't know. Just saying. I don't know what's happening in chat.
Endurance said, is anybody else in the mitten? And Miranda's like, what is the mitten?
Oh, it's a whole ass state.
It's Michigan, isn't it?
That's us, yeah, up here.
All of the cities that they've said sound made up. Lapeer, imagine.
That's a Canadian beer, actually. Mitten is Michigan.
Just so Miranda doesn't feel alone.
I think Lapeer is.
I was thinking Wisconsin for a second, but I guess that's cheese, right?
Lapeer is east of Flint.
Wisconsin's the cheese zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why Green Bay Packers. Anyway. Yeah.
I don't know anything
Sports
about that.
ball. I know sports ball. I'm the asshole.
New York, baby, you are the asshole. You are the big giant fucking 800 posts a day on social media. You're like, Lions, baby, let's go. I'm going grocery shopping. Got to show off my Lions gear.
Yes.
Restore the roar.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, I got the Bucks down here, and I'm just hoping that they don't suck ass this weekend.
I think we told this story last week, but it was so funny when we were all, you, me, and Mullins were all sitting around fucking opening Pokemon cards looking for a Charizard, and Boyce is like, football is on.
Yeah, I have my phone.
He literally, where's my remote? We were sitting there, and I was like, what the right pack is to open? This one. And I opened the pack, and I was like, boom shakalaka, we got the best card. And Alex was like, oh shit, yeah. And then Boyce just goes turns up the TV and just
I need something else.
Totally.
I'm dying inside.
Anyways.
Yeah. I thought that this was going to take so much longer to talk about, so I didn't plan a bunch of other content. If you guys have questions, though, please ask them.
Someone asked about a diode, there it is. You already got it started. Mike C.
Yeah, throw it up.
Boom. What do you guys think about the COM marker Galvo diode?
Didn't know that existed until just now.
I knew it existed, but we don't have any thoughts on it.
I
I should say I don't have any thoughts on it.
We like COM marker in general.
COM marker is just a brand, right? So COM marker makes the nice portable machine that Matt uses. That's a 20-watt fiber. They make 30 watt, they make 50 watt, they make CO2s, they make UVs, but they also have a small format Galvo diode. Outside of that, I don't know anything about it. Sorry.
Let's see. There was somebody just asked a question. Can you explain Snell's law? I actually remember that one, kind of.
Yeah, do
Snell.
That's basically the formula you use, if a ray of light was coming into water or something, and it reflects and refracts at an angle, and all the math goes into the power of the beam still, or the ray. That's all I know about it.
I was 100%.
Am I right, Chris?
I was 100% expecting Matt, in all fairness, to say something about a Dungeons and Dragons lore right there.
Snell's law does sound like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't there be no law on Dungeons and Dragons?
Alicia said, have you guys started playing with any 3D UVs yet?
Not on my life.
Technically, Alex's UV is wired with 3D controller, but it has a manual Z-axis and a normal 2D head, which makes it the furthest thing from 3D it could be. So,
yeah.
And
it's going to get less 3D because I have an EasyCAD 2 board I'm putting in it. Yeah. So, no, not yet.
I know the Field Tech, I think, is the one that Alicia has. I don't know much about it, though.
It uses its own controller software.
Probably, is it better than EasyCAD 3?
It's not EasyCAD 3. It's
what I'm saying, is it better?
It's different.
It's Chinese.
It's just different.
It's more Chinese software. It's
Lenmark.
Lenmark, that's right. And they have their own controller too. So you're running a Field Tech controller and Field Tech's Lenmark
software, Field Tech hardware.
Yeah.
Well, that's good that it's actually made for what it's doing, though. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, Sino Galvo does the same thing. They just use EasyCAD controllers, but they still have custom hardware that you have to run.
By the way, speaking of that type of stuff, Chris said D&D question would be more like, if Flabharp has 10 fliggle doodles and he eats 2, how many flibble flaps does he have? Which clearly it's 3.5, right? I mean, according to Snell's law, 4 if we're rounding.
According to Snell's law.
Sig figs 3.98.
Snell's law is an equation that describes how magic missile takes the path of least resistance to its target.
Yeah. All right, here's a real question. Willie Sims says, Laser to Leather, that's Willie, says, hey, Matt, you've done photos with UV and seen my picture. Any ideas or feedback? He actually posted in our Facebook group earlier today. It was really cool. He was able to take a picture. Dude, poor Willie, his computer broke on him, his laptop, because you guys know he's got the mobile setup. His computer broke. He was able to go and actually get a new computer, but because the machine had all the settings on the side, he was able to like type in everything and get it going again. And he was able to, on the fly, make a UV photo like super quick on leather. The only thing I would say is
a picture of leather.
It's a picture of an older gentleman, like 2 older gentlemen on a leather. Oh, I think
I'd love to look at it, but there are too many fucking pictures of some 3D engraved bullshit. Like 80 different posts. Oh my god, there's still more. Hey, it's me with the pizza. I feel like, oh hey, here we are.
You got it?
Yeah, throw it up.
All right, let's see. Here we go.
Ew.
So there you go. You found it.
Yeah, let's chill. Those look great. Look at those dots.
Yep. So that's what I was gonna say. For me, I think it looks good. I mean, the fact he was able to like knock this thing out because he engraved the leather. You can kind of see the engraving all around, and then you can see he actually cut it too with the UV. So pretty kick ass. I mean, Alex, you're the photo expert.
I mean, if I wanted to be critical of this, I'd need a microscope. So that's a compliment.
Yeah. So, and what he's talking about, that's where it's like the dots and the dashes and the size and the closeness to make sure that you're getting like the best out of your laser.
Yeah. The fact that I don't have anything negative to say about it without a microscope means that it's great.
The goal is ultimately you want the lines of the laser that as it passes and wipes the laser across the surface, you want them essentially touching at edge to edge, and the less overlap you have, the better. And if
It
you're
must
not
be
touching,
perfect
then,
or insanely close, because I certainly can't tell looking at it. So
yeah, great work, man.
Yep.
Alicia was saying she's still learning on the because I know they have to create like 3D. I was talking to her about this the other day. She was saying, and you too, because we were talking about what's the next laser for me. And I was like, should I get a 3D UV? But the problem is I don't do enough. Like her and May and a couple other people do like massive amounts, like hundreds at a time.
large quantity.
Yeah, and it's always the same thing. So if you're doing like 100 of these, it's worth it because you have to create a file of this item in 3 dimensions in their programming, then put it on on a axis and then center it and do all that stuff. So it's a lot of learning, but luckily she's an engineer and super smart.
Yeah, I feel like in my experience, because we get asked about this a lot, there is a very high demand for 3D Galvo content from a very small group of people that are extremely vocal about wanting the content. And it would just be it'd be a massive time investment. And right now I feel like the team's time is better used building something out like these courses for everybody.
On top of that, there's also investment and cost, not just in time, but in the tool and
those are not cheap lasers.
And round stuff to test on and learn on, and or just not even round, but I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. That's
true.
Apparently, Matt needs to feed his children every day. Asshole.
That's all about. We're at about an hour. I'm not going to waste any more time here than we need to because we have courses to make for you guys. Have you seen the new S1? No, Xtool keeps asking me to make a video about it without acknowledging the fact that they haven't sent one for us to look at.
I've read that email many times.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, guys, and I keep telling them,
please read this for us and make video soon.
Yeah, and I was like, we don't have one. So it's a diode. It looks cool. That's the one that's all enclosed, right? It's fancy. That's about the extent of my knowledge of it. I honestly haven't had a bad product from Xtool. I've had overpriced products from Xtool, but they've all been good to great. So it's probably great, if a little expensive. But I've come to, stand by Xtool pretty well. I still think that buying their stuff when it's brand new before it's hit a sale or anything yet is probably throwing money away that you don't have to. But if you pick something up from them, it's probably going to be decent. So.
Dude, I am 100% committed to getting that portable to the F1.
Yeah, the F1's sick, and then we need to talk to Kyle too. Did you guys connect over that yet?
Not like we connected, just didn't pick one yet.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So Boyce wants to dip his toes into Diode. Do you want it for
you might see a Diode half taken apart behind me.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I know you love your photos and you rock them on the CO2, so I'm excited to see what you do with the dot size from the Diode.
Detail will be cool.
That'll be very cool. But we have courses to make. I'm gonna get off here and get on with Chris so we can start building out some of these, like actually building them, not just doing framework stuff. So updates soon. This is what everybody's going to be working on until it's done. I'm pretty committed to that. So I hope that you are excited about it. Laura's asking at the very last second, is there a workaround for cutting acrylic on a diode that I'm assuming you mean like not opaque acrylic? So like transparent or translucent acrylic? Some people do like paint or Sharpie or whatever. I don't know if I would do that. I would probably just
stick with opaque.
The cut times are going to be so slow, even if you can get it to do it. And they're not going to be nice. You're
also going to need you're going to need an air assist, like an actual air assist, or else it's just going to turn into a mess.
Melty mess.
I think I'm having a stroke. What is it that you smell when you have a stroke?
Toast. That's what she was asking earlier, by the way. Are there any
this
tricks?
Is more like buttered popcorn. Is Miranda? Are you in chat?
Making a cake. She already said she's making a cake. She needed
it's cake. Oh, that's what it is.
I love how I'm having a stroke, having a slice.
Tomorrow's Nugget's second birthday.
Woo!
Excited and devastated
Time
about
to put
that.
in work.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ollie is the same size as her.
Yeah, they weigh literally the same amount. Please go sign up for the LMA if you are excited for these classes, courses, whatever the hell you want to call them. College, laser. Did you guys see the thumbnail? College for lasers, and then it was lasers attending college. I thought that was really clever. Nobody else thought it was funny. I didn't get a single LOL.
No,
it's hilarious. If you're stoked about it, please go sign up for the LMA. That's going
hit
to
the like button
for that to get done. Smash the like button. Let everybody else know the content is good, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time we have updates about Laser College. Note to self: buy lasercollege.com. I just got to go buy lasercollege.com right now.
See you in the next one.
Now I'm racing everybody in chat.
This is what ADHD looks like, everybody, right here.
Lasercollege.com.
ADHDcollege.com.
Oh my God, never mind. It's $5,000. I'm good. I don't know.
That's
go buy
insane.
some merch. I still haven't taken the LBX merch down. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I just haven't.
Miranda was right.
I know. She was right. She'll be right again.
By the way, Endurance, my apologies. I literally saw something that said, I have questions, but I can't ask them here. LOL. I was like, that's a bot. Like, that's straight up a bot.
God damn, dude.
Matt's a Facebook mod. It's encoded into him.
Seeing weird shit all the time.
Go buy something off the marketplace from yourselves and merch. There's a merch.
Did you ever
shop.
take down the LBX merch?
No, I just said that. No, it's still up. It's literally still up. Go like Voice's photo of his Lions gear on his Facebook page. And last thing, rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out too. I don't ask for that enough. I should ask for that way more. You don't have to leave us a review. Just let us know who rocks the white better, me or Boyce. I already know it's going to be Boyce, but leave it in your review on Apple Podcasts. That's all I've got, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Laser Source Podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.